Hello everyone, I welcome you all in today's session about what is unsupervised learning. In today's session, let's take a quick dive into some real-time concepts about unsupervised learning. But before we go ahead, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Edureka's YouTube channel to never miss out on any updates from us. Also, if you're looking for any of the Edureka certification courses, do check out the link given in the description below. Let's get ahead, guys. So firstly, look at our agenda for today. Firstly, we see what is unsupervised learning. Then we learn about why to use unsupervised learning, followed by types of unsupervised learning, and then we dive into how does unsupervised learning work. And finally, we talk about some of the advantages and disadvantages of unsupervised learning. So guys, without any ado, let's get ahead. So firstly, let's talk about what exactly is unsupervised learning. So guys, you should note that the goal of unsupervised learning, which is a machine learning theory, is to have algorithm to discover patterns, structures, or relationships within a data set without any human supervision or label instances. Unsupervised learning makes use of data that has not been structured in any way. Also, unsupervised learning seeks to identify hidden but present data structures, such as groups, clusters, or patterns that could otherwise go unnoticed. Next, let's talk about why to use unsupervised learning. So, the capacity of unsupervised learning is to uncover pattern structure like discussed. So it can be useful for a broad variety of purposes and their implementation. So guys, here are many of the most important benefits of unsupervised learning. First in the list we have outlier and anomaly detection. Here it is about a task that can be accomplished with unsupervised learning. So guys, these are out of the ordinary occurrences which should be looked into further since they could be signs of error, fraud or anything else. So this comes under outlier and anomaly detection. Next, we have clustering algorithms, which can assist you to find groups of similar data points, which can be beneficial for customer segmentation, product grouping, or even document categorization. So guys, this data can be used to improve marketing and recommended systems. Next we have in the list is image and text analysis. These can be the common applications of unsupervised learning. Here the learning makes use of dimensionality reduction techniques for applications of image analysis, for instance, which can help in the visualization of high dimensional image data, and also clustering in text analysis by grouping comparable articles for topic modeling. Next, let's talk about data privacy and anonymization. So guys, in unsupervised learning, it can be used to mask personally identifiable information from data while still preserving the underlying structure and patterns. This is the use for data privacy. So guys, unsupervised learning can also be used for dimensionality reduction, which are useful in streamlining complicated datasets without sacrificing useful information through feature engineering and reduction techniques. So guys, this learning structure has the potential to boost model efficiency and speed up for future processing stages. So guys, now that we are familiar of why to use unsupervised learning, let's move ahead with the types of unsupervised learning. So guys, here we have two classifications, which is the clustering and association. So firstly, let's talk about clustering, which is a form of unsupervised learning and a process of identifying and grouping the data points with shared properties. So guys, all the patterns with shared properties are identified in this form. So guys, here the objective is to discover clusters and grouping in the data that can occur naturally or without the use of arbitrary labels. Here the motive is to find hidden patterns or structures in which your data can be a common use case for clustering. Let's take for example a dataset which has the consumer in-store actions. So cluster analysis can be used to group clients into subsets with similar buying habits. For instance, customers who tend to buy one type of goods more often than others might form one cluster, while those who tend to buy a wide variety of things might form another. So guys, this is cluster analysis that allows you to find unique subsets without having to label them in advance. Now let's talk about association. So in unsupervised learning, association means it is a process of discovering relationship between variables in a dataset without having to access to the labels. So guys, when the labels are known in supervised learning, the objective was to train a model to correctly predict the labels for fresh data. So guys, let's say you have information about grocery shoppers' habits. So guys, here you find patterns like customer who buy bread also often buy milk. This could be discovered by association rule mining. So that's the application of it. These connections are useful as they can shed light on consumer habits and also inform advertising decisions, such as the placement of similar products in close proximity to one another and to promote cross-selling. Now that we took a good look about clustering and association, let's move ahead with how does unsupervised learning work. So guys, for this learning to be effective, the data being studied must be completely unlabeled and unclassified for this to work. So large amounts of data are needed for unsupervised machine learning. So what data scientists do is they start the process by training algorithms on training datasets. These datasets do not have properly labeled and categorized data points. So the learning objective of the method is to discover patterns in the dataset and classify the points according to those patterns. So guys, unsupervised learning system may be trained to recognize characteristic traits like whiskers, long tails, etc. by analyzing the photo of the cats, for example. Without the requirement for labels, unsupervised learning improves corporate insights and decision making related to the customer behavior. Next, let's move on to the advantages of unsupervised learning. So here, first advantage is that there are no labels required. So since unsupervised learning doesn't require any label data, it can be applied to a wide variety of datasets for which getting labels would be inconvenient and comparatively expensive. Next, in terms of exploring the data, unsupervised learning can unearth structures and patterns in the data that could otherwise be concealed from human eyes. Next, we have in terms of future discovery. So by using unsupervised methods, we may better understand that the data and the relevant features will improve the accuracy and efficiency of the subsequent machine learning models. Moving on, we have anomaly detection, which can be useful for spotting fraud, errors, and out of the ordinary behavior. So anomaly detection seeks out to figure and highlight these outlying data points. Lastly, in terms of reduced biases, so unsupervised learning can help estimate the possible biases which can be caused by human assessments because it does not rely on human labeled data. So lastly, moving on with the problems of unsupervised learning. So firstly, we have lack of ground truth. So guys, since unsupervised learning does not require labeled data, there is no absolute standard by which to judge the quality of the model's prediction. This can make it hard to evaluate the effectiveness of the acquired clusters and patterns. Next we have is the challenges with subjective interpretation. So guys, unsupervised learning algorithm discovers patterns or clusters that may lend themselves to easy objective interpretation. Here the context and individual's perspective might play a role of determining the meaning of these patterns. Lastly, what we have is overfitting. So guys, unsupervised learning lacks supervision of the labeled data that may produce patterns or clusters that are not transferable to unseen data. Overfitting can occur when a model incorrectly collects data because of its specificity. So guys, these were quite a few illustrations about unsupervised learning. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, do hit the like button, and to stay notified for our further updates, do click the bell icon. Like always, wish you happy learning.
I hope you have enjoyed listening to this video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries, and we will reply them at the earliest. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to Edureka channel to learn more. Happy learning!